Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode. Well, actually, this is our first this is our first episode of Nikki Talks Food. So, I did an intro, small little teaser of what the pod's going to be all about last week, and I was really surprised with the amount of people that said they were super into it. I think the kind of the draw. First of all, everybody's listening to podcasts. I listen to the dumbest podcasts. Okay, don't judge me, but I even started listening to um what's his name? Uh Osborne. Jack Osborne is he's made like a career of ghost hunting, which I also I also like love. All of a sudden, I was never like a ghost hunter kind of like person that would want to watch creepy stuff. But all of a sudden, in the last couple of, I don't know, and maybe in the last year, I started, you know, just enjoying ghost hunting because it's so stupid. It is so stupid, and there's even a new show I think on Hulu. Kristen Stewart, she produces it, and it is queer people against ghosts. I mean that it's a queer ghost hunting show, and if you want to like literally laugh your brains out, you got to watch queer people versus ghosts. It is so funny. But anyway, my point is that I listen to the dumbest podcast, and I was started listening to Jack Osborne has a podcast. It's about it's ghosts or grit, ghosts and grit. So it's ghost hunting and then like real guy stuff, like hunting and guns and all this stuff. And I have no idea why that became something that I started to listen to, because I think I just ran out of stuff to put into my ears, because I listen to podcasts while I'm doing stuff, because God forbid the actual like I actually have to like listen to my inner monologue. So some of you guys might be in the same boat as me where, I have like severe ADHD, and so the podcasts kind of help me stay focused. So when I prep, for classes that I teach or dinner parties that I'm catering, or if I'm just busy doing, even when I'm mowing the lawn, which I'm really into right now too. Mowing the lawn is like one of the things that just blows my skirt way up. So even when I'm doing that, I just have my little my earbuds in, and I will just consume podcast after podcast after podcast. So I guess that's why you guys, maybe you're in the same boat as me, where you're at work and it's just kind of background noise. And I guess the idea maybe of talking about food pleases you. It pleases you, and that's okay to say that. It pleases me. I mean, if I enjoy learning about food all the time. So here we are. This is our first episode, episode one. I've already got some followers on Spotify, which I'm super pumped. I never used Spotify once in my life. I'm 45 years old. It didn't make sense to me. I don't know how to use it. I used Pandora back in the day. Now, I'm pretty sure Pandora has gone away. But I mean, let me know if you guys are still listening to Pandora. But I quite liked that because it knew what I liked, So if I had like a very curated cure station that I would listen to all the time, because I would thumbs down what I didn't like and thumbs up what I did like, and eventually became like a really good station. So I think Spotify works that way, but I'm not 100% sure. And we're on or we're me. I'm on Nikki Talks Food is also on Apple Podcasts, and that was very difficult to do because you have to basically be like a baby computer programmer to figure that one out. And as always, we are on YouTube as well. So thanks guys for at least entertaining my crazy idea to just talk into your ears about food. And I am going to get some guests up very soon. I enjoy when, banter. I enjoy the back and forth. And so I definitely pride myself on my ability to banter with people. So look for that soon. That will be coming up soon. I've got to book some guests and make sure that we don't have any tech issues so that the episode is totally trashed and we can't use it. So we want to avoid that. So for now, I'm just going to kind of talk into your ears about stuff I think is interesting, and hopefully you want to come along for the ride. Some stuff I want to talk about. So, I just came back from a vacation, from a place called 30A, here in the Florida Panhandle. That's our beach, that's our beach place, and they call it the Redneck Riviera. So, they're beautiful beaches. I didn't step foot on the beach. I just kind of like hung out in the Airbnb and did some work and, that kind of stuff. But, it's like a family thing, which was great. I enjoyed hanging out with the family and everything. But I noticed, I thought of something that I thought maybe you guys maybe relate to too, but I'm completely over, like, I have had it, absolutely had it up to my eyeballs with dried fruit as a garnish for your drink. Okay? Um, it serves no purpose. In fact, I don't. First of all, I'm sober. Actually, August 1st will be my sober anniversary. I think that's the day this is coming out. I think that's Wednesday. Sober 4 years, but I personally don't have to have the garnish because usually what I order is like a Diet Coke. She's that girl. I love the Diet Coke. If I'm going out and I'm having, that's like oh, there's a little bit of caffeine in it. I'm gonna get all litty. Gonna get all litty up in here. So, just off the caffeine. So that's my like treat, right? So, but when I see that shriveled up, dehydrated lime wheel, lemon wheel, pineapple, orange wheel, dangling off the edge of a cocktail. And it just looks like it is just doesn't want to be on earth anymore. It's like, retire me, please. I just don't understand. There's no function. There's no function. Now, I will say, okay, it kind of looks cool, but there's no function. There's no juice in there. I can't squeeze it, put in my drink. That was the original reason why we had garnishes. I was a bartender for 10 years. I started my career, working at Applebee's in 1998. That was my first restaurant. Well, no, it was like a first like real restaurant job. I mean, before that I worked at Carvel as like a 16-year-old. Carvel ice cream. Amazing stuff. So anyway, so I was a bartender, and the original function for garnishes on drinks was, first of all, to make it pretty, but also it's a function. It's you squeeze a lemon into, Cuba Libre, right? It's a rum and Coke, and it comes with a little lime wedge, and you squeeze it in there. So I don't understand, and I'm ready for these dried, dehydrated garnishes to go away, for this trend to be over. It's so hipster. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't even taste good. Like, I don't like the smell of dehydrated lemon. I don't like the smell of dehydrated lime or orange. I don't like it. Now, if that turned in, and this would be a huge hoop to jump through. I think the aesthetic, like, people started using because it looks kind of like candy, like stained glass. You can kind of see through it and everything. I get that. So then make a friggin' make a candied fruit. That's okay. Make candy fruit. Figure that one out. Or maybe there's someone you can buy, somewhere where you can buy them from or something. I don't know. But at least it's tasty. At least it still's got the stained glass effect, but it's not so disgusting. So that's what I'm over. I'm over that. I don't know if you guys are. Let me know in the comments. What I'm here for with the hipsters, and I say this as a person who is borderline hipster myself, although I'm 45, so I don't think I'm really in the hip. I try, I try and stay relevant, but what I am here for is tattoos. I have tattoos. I have sleeves of tattoos. I'm here for, do these things have to coexist together? Does the dried fruit garnish have to come with tattoos? Like, do you have, is that the deal? But I'm here for the acceptance of people with tattoos and stuff. I mean, I don't think it makes you any it makes you a terrible worker or anything. I think if anything, you're a creative. I think it's okay. It's just like wearing a necklace. It's just decoration. Now, if it's like, dirty words or like, ooh, a naked lady, um, that if it's inappropriate, that's kind of borderline. But, you know, my tattoos are tattoos of candies and cookies and stuff like that because I just find them aesthetically pleasing, and I really obviously I enjoy food. So, I have several food tattoos, and I think it's cool. I think it's great. So that's, I guess the duality. If you have to have hipsters, you get to have tattoos, but then you have to deal with these stupid garnishes. So my dog, Oliver, he just had ACL surgery. It's not really an ACL like in the dog's knee. It's called something else, but at any rate, it's kind of like the equivalent. And he tore that tendon, so he had to have like some serious surgery. So basically, for the last week, I've been really tending to him, and because they pieced that leg together with a metal plate. So the poor guy's got he's got a metal plate in his leg, and trying to keep him still and keep his nutrition on point. I'm not one to make dog treats. I'm more of like a whole foods dog treats, meaning like I'll give him a whole food, like a carrot, piece of carrot or something like that. I make them bone broth. Whenever I see, they'll sometimes sell like beef parts of the hoof, which sounds gross, but it's not the outside, it's the inside part where all the collagen is. And if you can find those at your grocery store, they're really great for dogs. So I basically just put them in a pot and turn on the water. No seasonings, no onions or anything, just plain. They're dogs. They don't need that. They don't need all that. Plus dogs can't have onions anyway. So, I boil that and for at least 8 to 12 hours, and you get this really rich collagen rich broth. It's kind of wiggly, which is great, because that means a lot of collagen in it. So I'm giving him that, and I designed I got like a video right now going viral on TikTok. So if you want to go to my TikTok, it's under Pro Seasoning or Nikki Talks Food. I can't figure out which one it's under. I think if you look up Nikki Talks Food, I'll come up. But I designed a little pant leg for him out of some sweatpants, some old sweatpants, because he kept licking it. So, but it looks cute. He looks like he's wearing chaps, or like one chap, and whatever keeps him from licking it. That's all I care about. So that's what's going on with Buddy. He's Ollie. He's my bud, and want him to get better. So doing the best I can. All right, let's get to some news. Breaking news. I need something to shuffle. There's been rumors for years that certain fast food fried chicken places were using lab-grown chickens. There was an urban legend, from when I was a teenager, about chickens with no heads just hooked up to whatever. It was a very it's been a thing that people have been talking about for a while and have been scared of and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to let's just talk about it. Let's find out what it is. So it turns out Florida just recently banned cultured meat, which that's lab-grown meat. In my research, I found an article in 2023 in Popular Mechanics about cultured meat. It was first discovered 40 years ago. What happened was, in a laboratory, they created some sort of protein out of stem cells from cows. So since then, that was 40 years ago. So that's 1984. About 1984 that happened. So since then, 100 different startups happened. I guess the draw is maybe trying to stay ahead of the curve. Knowing that, there's a lot of talk about greenhouse gases and how cattle might be one of the largest culprits of that, and lab-grown meat would definitely make an impact if we started eating that meat rather than, natural meat or naturally grown meat. Maybe there would be an impact on greenhouse gases. And I'm not here to say yes or no or whatever. I'm just delivering to you what I learned. So that was, I guess, the draw was to maybe create something, an alternative meat, that's not soy and other, types of gluten and all that kind of stuff. So also animal cruelty was another thing that I guess that you know scientists or the startups were trying to avoid was animal cruelty, and so they came up with this lab grown meat. So everybody that's tested or those that have tasted the meat say the texture is very soft, which makes sense to me because it is not exercised. It is so we eat chuck. We make chuck burgers. Chuck comes from the shoulder of the cow, and it's an exercise cut. It's a cut of meat that's holding up a 2,000-pound animal. So it's very tough, and that's what makes it so tasty. So when you take that out of the equation, you end up with a much softer, you know, protein. So people say it's very, very tender. There's not much texture to it. Um, so that's kind of a big difference. However, so just a few days after Florida banned the lab grown meat, a processor called Upside Foods, one of the two companies, granted FDA approval to begin building an infrastructure to distribute the meat, and they had announced layoffs of 26 employees. So Florida banned the lab cultured meat, and then they laid, this company that was one of the only, let's see if it was there's only two companies granted by the FDA to begin building an infrastructure. So when they say they're building an infrastructure, it just means that it is not, no one at the moment in the United States is serving you lab grown meat unknowingly. So you can, at least if that's a thing you think about, you don't have to think about it anymore. But so the FDA said, okay, you can start building your infrastructure, meaning you can get walk-in coolers, you can get ways, you can figure out how you're going to distribute it, you can figure out how you're going to market it, you can build your labs and all that kind of stuff. So and then they started laying people off as soon as Florida banned it. So stay tuned and let me know what you think about lab grown meat. Would you buy lab grown meat? Would you add it to, would you try it? Would you taste it if somebody offered you if it was on a menu? And they made, whatever. Would you try it? Would you try? I would try it. I would try it if it, that would be my opinion, was I would try it. Now, nature versus, I mean, you're kind of messing around with nature. You're messing around with nature, in my opinion. So, is it something? I guess it would need more testing, and we figure out, does it have the same vitamins and minerals? What happens when we start like manufacturing stuff too is that you look at flour, for instance. Flour, and I'm just talking about regular flour from wheat, right? We have wheat, we basically process it into white flour. It goes through a bleaching process, and it's ground into a very fine powder. And in that process, when you grind a whole food into a fine powder, you lose vitamins and minerals. That's why you see the term enriched. Enriched, like your bag of flour will say enriched wheat flour. That means that whatever vitamins and minerals were in the flour before the processing happened, when they're stripped out, that means they're added back in, the same vitamins and minerals. So that's what enriched means. If it says fortified, like your cereal says fortified with niacin, that means the vitamins were never there, and they're just adding it in on top. So if we start using lab grown meat, does that mean, will it have the same vitamins and minerals, or will it need to be enriched with some sort of spray on? I mean, I'm just riffing here. I don't know. Some kind of spray on vitamin. We don't, I mean, the vegans exist, and they thrive, and, you can get, the right amount of vitamins and minerals by naturally, eating a variety of foods. You cannot survive on veggie burgers. You have to eat a lot of beans, and you have to eat beans and rice together so that you have a complete protein. So, I don't know, what impact would it have? Would it make food cheaper? Would it make food more expensive? In the future, would our luxury be, oh my gosh, I have actual cow and, or chicken and you know, is this the wave of the future? Does it reduce animal cruelty? Does it, maybe it tastes so delicious we don't even notice. I don't know. But these are questions. And if you have any strong thoughts or thoughts at all about any of this and you want to talk about it, send me an email, nikkitalksfood@gmail.com. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Okay, it's time to talk about my favorite kitchen tools. This is my favorite knife, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If not, I will. I'm gonna say what it is in the comments anyway. But what this is Shun. I love Shun knives. Shun knives. I've had this knife in particular for probably 9 years, and it stays very, very sharp. I do take very good care of it. And it is a workhorse. I'm trying not to cut any like, trying not to cut any like cords that I have hanging around here with it because it's super sharp. But the Shun knives, I love them because you can beat them up. Now there's different types. So this one that I love is the Shun Classic. It's an 8-inch chef knife. They do have the Premier. To me, the Premier is too sharp and they flake, like the actual blade flakes, and that means that you have to get it professionally, like resurface. The blade has to be fixed basically by a manufacturer is the best place to get it fixed. But the Classic maintains a great edge. It maintains like a beautiful edge. But you do have to take care of it. And it is not so sharp. I mean, it is a very sharp knife, but it is not like to where it is breaking under normal wear and tear. So that's my favorite all-time knife. I know that some of you guys, like some of the things that you guys were suggesting was talk about your favorite tools and stuff. So that's one of them. I don't believe in buying a knife block full of knives. I believe in having a collection of knives that are, useful. So that's my favorite chef knife. It is the workhorse of my kitchen. I do have if you're interested on learning how to sharpen your knives yourself, I do have a YouTube video on my YouTube channel, Nikki Talks Food, on knife sharpening. So check that out. It is a tutorial step by step. I found some of the step-by-step things to be over the top. Like it makes it so that is not within your reach. And I don't like that about certain food, videos and tutorials and stuff. I feel like there's always like a little piece missing. So when I make a video, I try and give you the keys to the kingdom. I will purposefully take out stuff that I think is nonsensical and just over the top and make things practical. Because if I'm like, you need to you need all these special tools and you need all this everything, you're not going to do it. It's overwhelming. You're busy, you're working, you're trying to get food on the table, and enjoy your time on earth. So check out that video. It's on my Nikki Talks Food YouTube channel. It's about sharpening your knives. It's pretty simple. I break it down into a very simple process. But the Shun knives are very, very good. They have several types of knives. The chef knife is my favorite, the Classic. So that is my favorite. That's the tool of the day. Stop, guys. I mean, you will. Okay, so we're wrapping it up here. Thanks for joining me on my first episode. Like I said, I'm gonna get some guests on. I'm gonna try and make sure they're quality. Let me know what you wanna learn, what you wanna talk about. Let me know what you think about cultured meat, lab grown meat. Um, yeah. So thanks, guys, and I will see you next time. I'm gonna try and drop these podcasts every Wednesday. So look for this podcast wherever you download your. Well, I'm not gonna say wherever because there's some. I think Amazon has it now too. So I don't know. I'm just on Spotify. I'm on Apple Podcasts and I'm on YouTube if you want to see my face. So look for me on Wednesdays. I'm going to try and do this every week, if not every other week, because I am still doing videos for cutting stuff up and cooking stuff, and I've got some great stuff planned. I made some honey candy a couple days ago and breads, and I got a meat cutting video in case you're interested in that. So, uh, that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you're watching, and I will catch you next time.